It's been no secret that the MBTA has been having difficulty keeping up with the record snowfall so far this winter. I'm currently standing here on the Green Line tracks, which haven't seen action for days. Somerville was well represented at the low-wage Day of Action rally here at Copley Square in Boston. 6 out of the 10 businesses we visited were still using styrofoam like this. Rather than waiting for the state legislature to pass the Trust Act, Mayor Curtatone is telling his police department to use their discretion when it comes to public safety. Fall in New England is just the best, not only here in the city of Boston, but also in those small New England towns that are just a short bus ride away. From movies to music and even cooking, pop culture fuels dozens of holiday traditions each year. Hundreds of people gathered at Copley Square in Boston to rally for a higher minimum wage.
Low pay is not okay. You know, anybody making less than $15 an hour on the job, that's a crime. You know, nobody should be paid wages that, you can't live on.
Even though the minimum wage has gone up over the years, in real dollars, the minimum wage is lower than it was 4 decades ago.
And let everybody in this town know that we're here and we're fighting for 15. Every day we fight for 15.
In cities like Somerville, wage inequality is a growing problem.
Somerville is a city of immigrant workers, still immigrant workers. And it's the workers at the lower end who are just coming into our society or struggling.
I think Somerville is like a microcosm of our whole country and what's been happening across the country with the increasing gap between the rich and the poor. And I think it's really important that we close that gap.
Low-wage workers here hope that officials will follow in the footsteps of cities like Seattle by raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Fight for 15 up there. I think we're spreading the word to workers everywhere.
Somerville was well represented at the low-wage Day of Action rally here at Copley Square in Boston. The fight for the minimum wage raise continues. Our reporters will keep on this story. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Justin Page. The city of Somerville enacted an ordinance banning styrofoam containers. After 3 weeks, we set out to see how many in a small sample of restaurants were in compliance. 6 out of the 10 businesses we visited were still using styrofoam like this. And although many owners were not willing to speak with us, it was clear that no education, inspection, or enforcement had yet taken place despite the ban going into effect nearly 3 weeks ago. Many of the restaurant owners around the city were still using styrofoam containers, and some didn't have any knowledge that a ban was in place. However, Dunkin' Donuts, Red Bones Restaurant, and the Somerville Public School System were in compliance and using alternative material. Vital Deshpande of the city's sustainability office knows work needs to be done.
We are a department of 2 people.
The person who we had anticipated working to do the transitioning didn't do that, so maybe the view of the administration is they don't want to enforce it until there's a new person who's brought in and can then do the outreach.
The city plans to increase education and enforcement of the ban to continue to make Somerville more environmentally friendly.